But despite that match being over, stay tuned because it is now right on the hour and it's time to go right back into it again. Philippines versus Brazil is coming up now. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be seeing this one, and I believe we're having a bit of a commentator switch in the meantime as well. Thank you, Juan Crystal.
Oh, that was lovely, man. As always, I'll be watching the match from the chat this time around, and I mean, I don't want to be biased. I'm not going to say which team I want to win, but everyone should know.
Okay.
Totally not South American bias. But hey, I just want a good match, honestly. And the Philippine boys are really, really good, so we'll see. It's an exciting match for sure.
Okay, and now joining me in the commentary booth here is going to be Mifa. How are you doing, Mifa?
Doing absolutely fantastic. That match was a nail-biter. That is for sure. Japan versus Indonesia. They come in clutch for basically all of these players. The performance are crazy.
That was absolutely insane. And now we're going to get another 2 extremely high seeds. This is Philippines, seed number 4 versus Brazil, seed number 5, who are in the winner's bracket as well. We're going to see how good these teams are at this stage. And we know that Philippines is one of those exceptionally strong teams on paper. You look at their roster, you're just terrified. But at the same time, Brazil, despite, looking weaker compared to previous years, they have been actually performing ridiculously well in the past 2 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. I have high expectations for this match because there are some. I believe the insider info says that there was a little bit of difficulties because they are playing on both sides of the world, basically. It's just hard to adjust the time schedule for both of these teams, and I feel like this is probably the best that they could do.
It's a very difficult one to schedule between the Asian time zones and the South American time zones for sure. But here we are. Hopefully, the time is not too bad for either of these. I believe Brazil is playing fairly early, where Philippines are playing a lot later than they would like to. So I guess both teams may be at somewhat of a disadvantage. Hopefully it cancels out a little bit, but here we go. Rolls coming in. Oh my god, that's cool.
Oh my god. those points. Those 2 points. Alright, that's probably going to tell us probably how close the differences are between the 2 teams.
Yeah, okay, so Brazil wins by 2 points there.
Oh boy.
What I'm really interested in is how are the SV maps going to be? Because I don't see any team protecting it. I also don't know if any team are going to ban it, because these 2 teams are some of the best SV teams in the whole tournament. Like, we were talking earlier about teams that could potentially beat Japan if they manage to make a big choke on an SV map. I think these 2 teams are the 2 teams to look out for when it comes to SV.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Next to Japan, SV team is if you contest 3 SVSC champions, that's a tall order to beat.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Brazil hold up like a 994, 995k average on one of the SV maps last week. So they are definitely capable. In Brazil, we know they have the SV players. But it is going to be Rice 4 being the protect for Brazil, actually. And
Rice 3, Edison. Ooh, Edison protect for Philippines.
Wait, what? Hang on. I'm looking down Brazil's team, Brazil's performances. I think Brazil have an insanely strong LN roster. I'm interested to see, what their Break the Silence scores are like for them to be protecting it. I think that sounds fairly wild, but I guess we'll find out where the bans go. Maybe both teams end up banning. Okay, no.
Wait, what? Philippines banning Nissimo? I mean, that's fair enough for Brazil to not be picking that. But Brazil banning probably, I don't know, like Hybrid or SV or something like that.
Yeah, maybe Philippines just not feeling that they can consistently combo through Nisimono would make a bit of sense there. And SV is going to be the ban, so Brazil don't want to be going to the SV1 at least. But that said, that doesn't really mean much for Cyber Thunder, which is a very different map.
Seems like Philippines doesn't really feel happy about that.
Yeah, I don't think Cyber Thunder will be picked by either team until the very end of the match, if anything. So that will be left floating in the pool for a long time. I do think it is Brazil's first pick, though.
I like how they are very much prepared for SV1, that they decided to prepare something to make sure they negate the slow jam effect.
Wait. Oh my god, that's that's what I was wondering what the baseball okay, so to like block your vision from the top
Exactly.
of the oh my god, okay.
That's one of the tactics that is commonly used to negate the slow jam effect, so you just don't really see the notes coming in at much slower pace.
Yeah, advanced SV tactics. That, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see from the Philippines. It is going to be Brazil picking Calculator first. This has been a fairly popular one to pick early on in some matches that we've seen. A hybrid pick that is very short and very chokeable at that.
I think this is the one of the hybrids that I feel that this is the most chokeable, yeah, but in the sense that it's also very risky to pick this early on in the match.
Yeah, Fola's mapping style I would always kind of describe as wacky. It's a bit of a wacky, wacky style. Very technical, very hard to get good accuracy on as well because of some of the snaps that are involved and some of those LN patterns in particular. So we'll see how the players fare. We're getting a lot of switch arounds here.
It seems like April is joining for the Philippines, and the other two players from Brazil would be likely just be anyone. Probably Silly Fangirl or Nate in this case.
Demi-Fiend, of course, has been one of the best performers on the entire Brazil team so far in the tournament. The Marcinho as well. And Silly Fangirl for Team Philippines. April for Brazil.
Oh, for Brazil. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, these are some terrifying names we're seeing. Apol, of course, being the extremely accurate LN player of the Philippines team.
The extreme LN specialist for the Philippines, outside of maybe the other 5 players who are also specialists.
But that said, you know, if you talk about extreme accuracy in LNs, we do have Demi-Fiend also in the lobby. I think this is going to be a very interesting one to see exactly where the accuracies really line up.
Alright, seeing the empty command start right in, and we were probably jumping in for the first map being Calculator, the wackiest hybrid in existence to ever actually grace in quarterfinals. There we go, we've seen reverse shield already.
Miss.
Maybe it was a miss.
Oh,
yep, there you go.
It was actually a miss. Silly Fangirl very early on in the map. That's going to give... Wait. Why isn't the... Wait. Oh, Apol's accuracy. Hang on. That's why. I was like, why is the lead still in Brazil? Apol actually with a very bad start, actually getting a miss of their own. So both Silly Fangirl and Apol finding early misses there, and that gives the lead over to Brazil because of the accuracy.
Yeah, the wackier LN releases tied with some, I don't know, well, graces in some between too. The lead is still pretty much nothing, even after those 2 misses at the very start. And
7-Ken.
Ooh, actually the first miss after the intro miss from April.
Yeah, and that is a very big act drop as well, down to 99.4. 7-Ken had one of the higher accuracies on Team Philippines before that, and now there is no one contesting, or Demi-Fiend actually finding a bit of an act drop, but not going to be too serious as long as Brazil keep the combos now. 7-Ken with another miss.
Oh, wow. The miss of it, I mean, the accuracy wasn't doing too hot either for 7-Ken. There's some act drops along the way after that miss.
Right now, it looks like Demi-Fiend and Marcinho are the 2 highest accuracies in the whole lobby. That's giving them a very strong act lead overall. And of course, 2 FCs versus the 1 FC from Silveska Els on Philippines.
already a 30,000 point lead. I mean 20,000ish. I mean I would assume so because the league is yeah,
The
this is
end
the
section.
wackier side.
But this is a bit of a speed up, but even with chokes, it doesn't feel like there's going to be enough time to make back 23,000 points of lead, even if there were misses at the end. And it's going to be a very strong first point for Brazil on their own pick. We may as well call that 3 FCs there for them. 995k for Demifiend.
Jeez, okay. I mean, April without the miss, that would have been just beating out Le Marcinho by a slim margin.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see the accuracy is definitely there for the Philippines, but just the misses coming in, not helping them out. And Brazil, a very nice first point for them, the first pick going as they would have liked. And now Philippines, they get to decide where they want to go for, and I wonder, they have a ridiculously well-rounded roster, but I would assume that they would want to go for more of, you know, maybe some of the Rice picks, maybe some of the, I don't know if you really want to go towards the LN picks.
And I don't know if they want to go with the Protect either this early on, because they protected Edison for racial reasons.
Edison, I don't like as a first pick for anyone. I think if Philippines are first picking Edison, I think that just means that they're out of picks already.
I mean, this SV is viable for Philippines right now.
SV is definitely a potential, but the thing I'm just really scared because I know Brazil can play the SV well as well. So I don't think Philippines should be too confident picking SV, especially early on. You don't want to go 2-0 down. That's going to completely break the morale for the team. So I think Philippines, they want their most comfortable, their most confident map to be picked first, so that they can try. Interesting pick here, but they would know their own scores better than I do, I guess. And, you know, with two teams that are so well-rounded overall, I would say, it really does come down to individual patterns, individual comfort levels.
Seems like an oddball to me that picking Bakamitai while also banning Nisimono, because that's just how the stream, speedier dumb stream that is.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting how the pick bans have played out in the end, but makes a bit of sense. We are seeing two players switching in for the Philippines. Volpsy and Boji, of course, both very, very strong Rice players. And we're actually seeing... Are we seeing Demifiend switch out for Brazil?
Yeah, wondering what the third player is gonna be for Brazil. I know, I mean, in the past, like last year, you would have seen like the actual 3 players from Brazil, but I mean, unfortunately, Brazil hasn't been like stronger now in like the third player, and I think like Demifiend is probably gonna take up the hat for Brazil now.
Yeah, I mean, Brazil, of course, we do say that they are relatively weaker in Rice compared to last year, but that's not really saying much because last year they had just absurd Rice team. They are still very strong this year, so Philippines, I don't think they can afford too many mistakes in this one, but on paper, you would probably give them the ratio advantage when it comes to the Rice maps.
Alright, seems we're up and ready for both teams. Hopefully there's no other issues on switching out for players, I feel.
Yep, here we go. And the one thing that I am concerned about here for both teams is that it's a very short pick as well. Just like we saw on Calculator, this one, 1 minute and 50 seconds. Single misses are going to mean a whole lot in terms of the score, especially because I don't expect the accolade to be that big either way.
Well, I mean, it seems like they're leveled up in accuracy. 7K and Demifiend seems to be in close proximity in between each other.
When it's tied just between the two teams so far, Boji is the outlier here at 99.96.
How do you even act like dumb stream like this quick? I mean, this is not even the hardest, so I'm not too concerned by it.
Yeah, it is still relatively calm compared to the last part of the map, but still plenty of places to be choking on, so no player can afford to let up their concentration at all. So far, it actually looks like Brazil has a little bit of an accuracy lead.
Yeah, just averaging 99.9 for Brazil, completely just rising up their accuracies.
This is a crazy advantage for Brazil. 99.9, as you said, that's the average. And Volpsy and 7can still not far behind. Here we go, this is the main section. If there's any mistakes now, that will determine the lead. Silly Fangirl with a 200, it looks like La Marcinho as well. But Volpsy drops a
has
little
a
bit of
200,
accuracy.
yeah. There's no lead still up until this last quarter. That's concerning.
1,000 points. Boji actually dropping the accuracy a little bit, but so do all the Brazilian players dropping a little bit. It just looks like Philippines are also dropping at the same time, so it looks like the lead is still 2,000 points in favor of Brazil, but Las Marcinho about to miss the worst possible time at the very end of the map. Now this is a lead for the Philippines. They just need to hold on to the combo.
And that is it. That is the only section that is just pretty much calm.
Oh,
and then steal it in the end. And Philippines still takes their own point, but man, that would have been a different story if Brazil kept up the composure there.
Oh, 2 score V1 losses for Philippines. That's 74. What
that's also 2 V1SS. That's also 2 V1SS for Brazil.
Oh, but 4 V1SSs, 2 100s for Volpsy. Oh my god. Overall, on average, Brazil, they have the AC advantage. That is scary. That is so scary for Philippines going forward into this match. But they managed to take their first point. It is 1-1, so at the end of the day, no harm done either way.
If this tournament was on 2v2, I feel like Philippines won on 300s. If you take the 2 best scores.
Oh, it is just so hard. Yeah, Brazil acting as a unit there. All 3 of their players had such similar accuracies. They were all so high as well.
Wait, what? Demifin picking Flower or as the SV?
Wait, no, Demifin meant Bakami Tai was SV. What? Oh, huh? Okay, whatever.
Okay,
I don't understand. But anyway, Bloomin is going to be the pick. Hybrids are going to be the avenue attack still for Brazil here. They did very well on Calculator, so we'll see if that can stick with Bloomin. I do expect slightly different rosters to come out here, though. As we can see, Philippines, Boji is staying in, but Silueska L's coming in as a very strong hybrid player as well for the Philippines. Same 3 for Brazil, staying in for all 3 maps so far, it looks like.
Yeah, it seems like no A-pole for Philippines, understandably so. This is a little bit on the denser side for hybrid, but they're straightforward. So I feel like this would have been Boji's stronger points for hybrids.
Yeah, for sure. More straightforward as in the LN snapping, as you said, means that there are a lot of players on the Philippines who may be more comfortable with getting good accuracy. And I mean, combo is going to be really important as well. We've seen combo being the deciding factor in both maps so far. So you are going to need to aim for the FC for all players if you want to be able to have a strong lead for either team.
The intro, just 3-column inversus intel mapping, basically.
Yeah, and 7can having a bit of a rough time compared to the other players, dropping down to 99.4, but is going to manage to build up the accuracy a little bit. Demifiend and Boji and Silly Fangirl actually dropping a little bit as well, so L's actually with the highest accuracy right now, and that's keeping things pretty much tied up.
Yeah, interestingly enough, no one is above 99.8 after that intro, but I mean, they're quickly put things back up.
Yeah, AC rising quickly for all the players, but 7can still lagging behind a little bit now, so it is Brazil starting to edge out a bit of a lead. Still the first third of the map, though. And we saw what just happened
720 points.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Demifiend almost finding a miss there. That was a 50.
That's quite fatal. 72 points.
Oh my god, 72 points this lead. Oh, it's still the same.
It's still reaching to the left. We're still reaching the 3rd point. Boji double 200 on the LN release.
Oh, the lead is negligible.
Watch out! There's still no 200 points.
It's all coming down to this last third of the map. Lead is non-existent.
LZ drop a 200. I saw that 200 right at the mini jack.
And I think
No one on Brazil is seem to choke.
It's coming down to 7ken right now. 7ken's accuracy is just not quite as high as all the players on Brazil. But it's still so close. It's still so close. Boji's accuracy now going up above 99.8 as well, but that's a miss. It's going to decide it. It's at the very end of the map unless there's a trade really soon. That looks like that might be the deciding factor in this map.
Oh, they're running out of time here. Brazil is probably going to take this now.
And such an unfortunate timing for that miss. It is impossible to tell where that was going to go if there was no miss, but at the end of the day, Brazil are going to take their second point. It has been 3 points in a row. No break points for either team, but it feels like it very well could have been 3 break points in a row.
Siluesca, Elze, and Lamarcinho is 1-300 difference. Literally 20
Look at
points.
Boji's act as well. If you remove Boji's 50, then all 3 of them have almost identical scores.
It's crazy to think that this is a very high caliber of players. I mean, literally going 990s.
And now this is a lead for Brazil. They're staying on top of things just barely. And Philippines, what do you pick? What do Philippines pick? I don't think Bakamitai was a very good pick for them. Just in hindsight, you look at the performances, you look at the scores, and I think, honestly, as a Philippines team, you're scared.
It's not a very strong pick for Philippines, but a win is a win at the end of the day.
I mean, I feel like Philippines, they have the ability to win on every map, almost.
Oh my god,
but
Gypsophila.
Oh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be insane as well.
This is a question mark for me.
I mean, they won on Bakamitai. You can't deny that one. A win is a win, like you said. If Philippines manage to hold on to the 3 full combos, anything is really possible in this one. But it does feel like Brazil's accuracy has just been so on point so far this match. If they keep it up, then the accuracy battle is going to be so hard for Philippines to win, which is crazy to say.
This is just the exact stream pick for, above all accounts, this is the more consistent one. Not too complicated on the snaps. These are just straight up 332 BPM or somewhere around that.
Let's see how this goes. We are getting the Rice roster back in for the Philippines, so Volpsy switching back in. And the same 3 players once again for Brazil. I mean, they've been performing out of their mind as well, so it makes a lot of sense to keep them in. We'll see how this one works out for Philippines. I feel like this could be a potential for Brazil to win a breakpoint back.
Volpsy with a mirror here, just to remove the motions altogether. Just a fresh muscle memory, because I think that's what happened in Japan, picking 2 mirrors at once. All 100% on the bottom row.
Yeah. Nice and calm intro section, nothing really to talk about here. Not too big of a deal even if you drop your 100% here, because it's just going to be like, what, 1-300? And here we go into the streams. The speed is picking up now, and oh my god, Volpsy with an early miss. Down to 99.4.
That's also quite bad for Volpsy to drop here right now. I think there's a 200 after that miss too. And even still before the 400 combo count, it's still pretty fatal.
Look at the accuracies overall in Brazil. The lowest ACK right now is 99.82. 2 very extreme accuracies on their side as well in Lamarcinho and Demifiend, but Boji trying his best, 99.97, topping the lobby in the accuracy once again, but it is a 9,000 point lead because of the miss earlier, because of the ACK lead. And Philippines, they need a miss to come from Brazil.
reaching to the last third of the chart, and this is just all streams.
Is going to be the
All
combo.
eyes.
Volpsy is increasing the AC back up, 99.7, very strong accuracy now. Any miss has to come now as soon as possible for Philippines, or it's just going to be too late to come back.
No one's still having... Okay, there's a... Oh, Volpsy! The second drop there.
Second drop from Volpsy, that basically decides the point. It's looking like a break point for Brazil, as long as they just manage to hold on to the combos. Even if they miss, I think they can afford it.
Also, yeah, with the miss coming from Volpsy twice, actually. No one has been missing so far in the stream pick. And ooh, these average of scores are 992 on average on this lobby.
2986, three-way SS for Brazil. 5?
Oh my god.
5 SSs? My god.
That's all. The outlier is literally there. The consistency for Brazil is still unmatched for a three-way V1SS.
This is terrifying from Brazil. I don't think Philippines want to be going for rice. I straight up think that they need to try something different a little bit here. Brazil now in the lead. They have won one breakpoint. They're 3-1 up, and they get the next pick as well.
Yeah, this is a bad situation for Philippines to be in right now. I do think they're a little bit shaken by it. Hopefully they're gonna pick back up soon if Philippines decide to win the breakpoint.
Oh, look at that pick.
My god.
Oh, look at that pick.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at that pick.
That's bold for Brazil coming up with with Cyber Thunder Cider.
Brazil banning Sample Ensemble, picking Cyber Thunder. I don't think Brazil had to do this. I think this is risky. I think this is so risky. After winning a breakpoint, the first breakpoint of the match, what Brazil really should be doing is solidifying this lead. They want to go 4-1 up to make it really hard for Philippines to come back, but I'm scared. Look at who we have subbing in. Cub from the Philippines is such a strong SV player. We know the Philippines, they seeded number 2 behind Japan on stage 1.
I don't think that this is necessary for Brazil to be playing it risky right now. If they are one breakpoint up.
Brazil are strong. That's undeniable. I think Brazil are definitely comfortable with this map. I just don't know how they can be so confident picking this into a team like the Philippines. This should be like a last-ditch, last chance kind of pick when all else is lost, but when you're up, when you have the first lead that we've seen in the match, this is such a risky time to be picking it.
I mean, I know they have been like 1 point up, but I just think that they need to be playing it safe. In either case, this pick doesn't really make any sense, actually. I mean, if they're confident, they're just gonna go with it, right? That's just how it is. For every performance for all of the teams, if they're confident, they're just gonna go with it. I think that's just their mind games on it now.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here, how these players perform, because this is also a very hard one to perform in under pressure. And definitely the pressure right now, you have to say, is on the Philippines more than the Brazil side.
LZ, please, come on. Okay, yeah. Oh boy.
Oh my god, look at the accuracies. There's 5 players on 99.9 right now. Lamarcinho is on 99.87, and that's why Philippines have the advantage.
I think this is also the first time I've seen Nate playing SVs after such a long time.
But it's the smallest lead here. The first slow jam section is gone. No one drops any accuracy. Here's the second part of the gimmicks. We'll see if there's any misses. Oh, Demi-Fiend finds a little bit of accuracy. Silly fangirl.
My Cup also actually dropped out quite a lethal 200s.
but bigger act drops from Brazil overall. Silly Fangirl drops down to 99.4, so Cub still beating Silly Fangirl in the 1-to-1. Apol and L still above both other players on Brazil. That's a 3,000, 4,000 point lead now.
Cub is rapidly gaining after that 99.3.
Oh my god, here. This is the slow jam section. This is where we're going to see some chokes potentially.
All 99.9s across Philippines, and the only outlier here is like the lowest 2 scores from this lobby. The ghost house, please, come on, don't do this to me,
Oh,
Cub.
don't. Here we go. Okay. No one breaks anything on the slow jam section. Now we're back into here. Apol actually with a few 200s.
Apol!
99.75 now, but still a little bit of an ACK lead overall for the Philippines. Cub manages to make it back up to 99.7, but Silly Fangirl is still behind everyone else. That's making the difference here. Els drops a little bit of accuracy now,
Accuracy,
matching
oh my God.
Demi-Fiend.
Oh,
but a miss!
No, I already missed that shit.
And that is going to be a huge lead for Philippines. All they need to do now is keep the combo. ACK does not matter anymore. Philippines have the ACK advantage, but it's all in the combo now. And they're towards the very end of the map. There's only one section after this now. Bit of a slow jam.
Cub is actually racing against the other 2 Philippines, and now he's already on the highest, almost the highest ACK now.
Cub has to have one of the highest ratios for sure. Coming back from 99.4 at one point to be able to get to 99.77 is just a monstrous comeback in accuracy. And now we're at the very end of the map. This is the last part. As long as there's no misses, this is looking like another breakpoint on the cards.
Yeah, this seems to be the case. The breakpoint that Philippines needed.
And this is why I hated this pick from Brazil. You have thrown away your your momentum. The breakpoint is gone. This is tied up again.
God.
And Brazil do not capitalize on any lead. They have not sustained anything. It is going to be Philippines with a 3-way FC. Crazy scores from both teams, though. Without that one miss, this would have been insanely close.
And just like that, Cub actually with a fatal mistake on the 100 actually is now actually getting the highest accuracy on Philippines, just racing back up.
So let's see now.
Has decided to relieve.
Yeah, they're back in this. Philippines absolutely could tie it up right now, but the problem is, what do Philippines pick? Because Brazil has looked terrifying in everything. Is LN the play? We have not seen LN.
You have not seen LN, but they have some LNs on the hybrid, but that doesn't really say much.
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh, Astra. Okay, they're going with Astra all through. Okay, we're now venturing into the LN world.
So it is going to be the LN, the coordination pick coming out for Philippines. We know both teams have very strong LN players, but maybe this one ends up working out better for Philippines. At least that's what they hope here, compared to some of the Rise maps that we've seen so far. And they're going to need to win this if they want to take it back to 3-3.
And I'm already seeing Apol and Scales and probably, what, 7Ken playing for the Philippines? This would have been a tight spot for them.
Oh no, it's going to be Cub.
Oh,
if you look in the chat there, Cub is staying in for this one. I do believe Cub played in some of the LN picks for the qualifiers, so definitely a very strong player. Well-rounded, not just the SV1 trick that perhaps may have been thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to see Brazil swapping in some players as well. I do expect, I mean, Demi-Fiend is a must for Brazil here.
Yeah, Demi is a must. Yeah, it's just a crucial player for Brazil right now for LNs.
And I assume they also keep Silly Fangirl in. Silly Fangirl has been playing very well overall so far in the match.
Okay, Demi is now coming back in from the lobby.
Okay, just still waiting a little bit for the players to get settled now. This is very tense, this situation. Oh man.
Yeah, if Philippines does win on this pick, they're now level. They will be leveled. It's basically best of what, 5.
Oh, but it's a tough ask even just winning this pick, I think, against Brazil. This is a team that's looking so consistent. So we'll see who their third player is. It's going to be Silly Fangirl coming back.
This is a high stake. This is a high stake pick for literally this lobby because one mistake on the Olympic, and if Brazil takes a break point, then the other Olympics might have gone sour actually.
We've seen how unpredictable this can be just in the previous match as well. If you were around Japan versus Indonesia, that came down to the wire. Individual misses, individual tiny mistakes at the very end of the map. It's a very risky one overall.
All right. Here we go. We've seen the first Olympic that might have been quite the decider actually.
Okay, let's see. This is a really tense one here. Yeah, just a bit of climb there. No misses. The first
yeah, thankfully no misses like last time.
And let's see, all very close.
Maybe with 99.95 in the intro, sure thing.
This is not a map what you ratio, surely. You can't get high ratios on a map like this, but despite Demi-Fiend's best efforts, there's an ACK lead so far for the Philippines at least, while Marcinho dropping a little bit down to 99.5.
Cup also does find a bit of a struggle in maintaining rainbows all the way through.
Still 99.6 keeping up with Silly Fangirl, so they are matching each other. And now the Marcinho drop is a little bit more down to 99.3.
Cup also dropping below 99.6. It's trying to... Oh! Okay, sure, dude.
But
actually, Nate leveled up.
Yeah, okay, a miss from Cub, immediately traded, and the accuracies are still very similar between Cub and Silly Fangirl. So the Marcinho with the ACK drop is going to give the lead over to Philippines, despite Demi-Fiend having the highest ACK in the lobby. I don't know how you are keeping 99.9 still at the halfway mark.
If you look at closer to Marcinho is releasing very late, actually. It might have costed it the accuracy lead now.
Oh, I'm wondering if it's a scroll speed after the SV pick.
It's releasing very late now. Below 99.2 actually now, almost.
Yeah, now still Philippines with 2 players above 99.8. Brazil only with the 1. And Silly Fangirl and Cub both matching each other once again.
Consistent 99.8 for Philippines. That would have been like so close if Marcinho actually grounded his best efforts on accuracy. But I feel like this is a 1 miss from Philippines. Could have stayed the same actually.
Yeah, now 15,000 point lead. Demi-Fiend. Oh, that's the biggest score for Brazil. Finding a miss towards the end.
992k even with the miss at the very end. That's crazy.
And
wow! V1, that's almost the V1 SS.
Oh my god. No, Siloeska L's with the V1 SS as well. Demi-Fiend almost getting it with absurd ratio as well. 2 times better than the next best, it feels like almost. And
Marcinho. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say Marcinho definitely had something going on with the client there. I suspected scroll speed, but it turns out being on a slightly different setting than they used to. So that is an unfortunate way to go out, but still a very strong performance from Philippines. It's now tied 3-3, and I wonder if now it's Philippines going to be going for the LNs later on.
Yeah, Brazil is staying on the hybrid now.
Okay, very rare that we see one team picking the whole hybrid pool.
Actually, yeah.
But here we go. This one is a very different hybrid than what we've seen so far. This one very Jack heavy, very choke heavy. LNs and Jacks combined, the worst nightmare of some players.
I might have been wondering if this is still within like Philippines roster to making sure that they still pick the same team members, because we've seen Boji on Bloomin. I don't know if they're gonna do that here.
Oh, here comes Boji.
All right, there you go. No Cub. Switch out by Boji.
It's fairly good. I think fairly good roster here for Philippines as well. This one, it has come down, so many matches we've seen, this map has come down to the combo. Which team will combo break? And I think you really do want to be putting your really physically capable players in for this one so that they can keep the combo consistent throughout the whole map, not mess up too bad, not find any uncomfortable sections. So it makes sense that we're seeing Boji.
Yeah, hopefully Lemarcino has sorted this issue up for his settings, so we'll see how it goes.
It definitely should have by now, so there shouldn't be any issues for any of the players anymore as far as the client is concerned. And this one, once again, tied up. This is now Brazil's pick. They're looking to keep it in front at 4-3 if they manage to win this one.
Not sure if the intro seems to be favoring 7 Ken, but nothing too serious about that.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal, all things considered. 99.78 is still a very strong accuracy for 7 Ken. But my god, Brazil, that's a very good start. 99.9 across all three players.
All three, yeah.
No one on Philippines holding that level of accuracy, but there's no way it lasts, right? Should definitely fall off, yeah. Demi-Fiend dropping down to 99.7, actually matching 7 Ken now. So this lead is shrunk quite a lot now, and here we are into the main meat of the chart, the main Jack section here. Everyone holding on fairly well so far. A little bit of act drop, and oh my god, it's flickering back and forth just a little bit.
It's anybody's game, basically.
Oh, and 7 Ken finds the first miss. That's down to 99.5 now, and it's going to give Brazil immediately a lead here.
Still not over yet. This is the last third.
Still 3 full combos on Brazil now. It's the combo game. If Brazil manages to hold their combos through the whole map, they can take this point. But
these transitions are rude.
These are rough. This is a really hard section to be able to combo through. Accuracies overall, actually Brazil now in front. Boji and Silveska L's dropping in the accuracy down below the 99.8. Well, Lemarcino, the best in the lobby right now, 99.84.
Yeah, 9.84. Yeah, ow. That's... None of the Philippines had a 99.8 at all, basically. They just all matching up to like the 2 lowest scores from Brazil.
Oh my god, and this is the end of the map now. Brazil showing this consistency once again. This is another 3-way FC.
2,981. Brazil are now back in front with a V1 SS from Marcinho.
That is a crazy score from Marcinho. 99.84. Demi-Fiend not far behind, but with just the 5-200s. And just the one miss decided to actually, you know, even without the miss coming out from Philippines, this accuracy from Brazil is so ridiculously high. I don't think Philippines could have taken this. And it's going to end up being another really good pick from Brazil, 4-3.
April's coming back in from Philippines, and I wonder if LN3 is going to come back up.
I don't know about LN3.
Heaven's Fall, alright.
Yeah, I don't know about the Jackson LN3. That feels a little bit too risky here, but Heaven's Fall is going to be the pick, a little bit more consistent as far as that goes, the density pick here. And, oh, it is going to be tight once again because, you know, Philippines did win LN1 fairly convincingly, but you have to kind of put an asterisk on that because I mean, look at the difference in Lamarcinho's act between the past two maps. It's like night and day. And if Lamarcinho keeps playing like he did just then, this is scary. This is on.
Yeah, the pressure is now on, actually, for Philippines, because this is a crucial point to make. Because if Philippines lose this, Brazil is on match point.
Oh, and it's so risky to be the team that is forced to win the pick at the end of the day. Philippines, they have to win this one. There is no two ways about it.
And I think at this point, it's really comes down to actually not combo breaking. Because I think that's the theme for this entire matchup. And Morchinho is literally, putting their gloves off for this?
Okay, full screen mode.
I mean, if it's gonna help, then sure. But man, it's literally like what, 3 picks left to make.
Okay, let's see how it goes now. Very important point here in the match. I mean, every pick really is that important.
Interestingly enough, they haven't picked their protect, so I just assume that it's probably just a bluff.
I mean, 2 Rice maps being protected, and both teams have kind of gone away from picking Rice very quickly. Okay, here we go. This is a fairly long one, so it's going to come down to the consistency, whether or not they can keep the combo and keep up the high accuracy. We know both teams have shown the ability. But so
ability,
far,
oh my god, the ability to get 99.9 above on the intro is just, I don't know what to say.
It's such impressive sharpshooting from every single individual as well. But here we go,
Right.
Now's the LNs, now the act drops.
All eyes on 200s, literally. Although Nate has taken a bit of a drop, the first drop actually.
So Fangirl down to 99.75. That's going to give a small lead to Philippines. Not really much to speak of. It's actually flickering back and forth here. As Silueska, Els, and Cub don't really drop too much in accuracy, but it seems to be enough to kind of give a little bit of inroads to Brazil.
Apple is trying their hardest to negate Demifiend's accuracy.
Oh, Demifiend actually dropping a couple 200s there, dropping now, matching Apple. Both of those two players cancelling each other out. It's coming down to the second and third.
800 points.
Silueska Els actually dropping down to below 99.7, now below Silly Fangirl. That's giving Brazil a little bit of a lead. We're halfway through the map, still 6 FCs.
Still 6 FCs. Look at that point difference. It's literally below the thousands.
And oh my god.
Oh my god.
Cobb
No,
finds the first
Cobb!
miss at the very start of that second half. And that's going to be an instant lead towards Brazil. It wasn't too big of an accuracy drop at the very least, but it is going to mean that Philippines require Brazil to miss once again. Another one of these situations. And Brazil, they have just not been missing so far in the match.
It's just very crazy to... Dude, actually, Brazil's still staying on.
I don't know how you can be so consistent, FCing so many maps in a row. But it's looking like this is now an accuracy lead in Brazil's favor as well. Silly Fangirl keeping steady at that 99.7.
Final stretch of the LN jump streams.
There's still a small chance, but the time is running out so quickly for the Philippines. And it's looking like Brazil might just take this point here and now.
And that is it. That is no other material in this chart. And Brazil is now on match point, 5-3 now.
Oh my god, Brazil getting on match point, looking to take out Philippines from the winner's bracket if they manage to win one more. Philippines, they have to win the next 2 picks.
How do you get 16-1 ratio on an LN jump stream like this, Davey? Come on, man. That's just illegal.
16-1. Everyone out here just trying to keep their combo Demi-Fiend worried about getting regular 300s.
That's just not right. And still, the protects are all still up there. There's no more hybrids. There's only one LN, and I don't think Brazil's gonna go with that. There's only 3 rice picks.
Oh, what does Brazil pick though? They're out of hybrids. There's no hybrids. There's no SVs. They're gonna have to pick something different. Maybe they go full LN3. After all that's happened, Brazil did have a very strong performance on Upload Your Mind and also Heaven's Fall just there.
This is hard. This is just a hard pick to make for Brazil, actually, given the protects are still up there.
Marcinho just says, I don't know.
Oh no.
Brazil, when asked what to pick, just responds, I don't know.
I think no one's gonna pick Jump Straight, or at least Cosmo Station in this case. Okay, they're going for Protect now, I think.
Break the silence, yeah. Oh my god, this is going to be a fairly risky one, but you know, looking at the match so far, it does seem like Brazil, they have the consistency, they have the combo to be able to make it through such a long technical map like this. And it's up to Philippines now to prove that they can as well. They have to come away with some FCs in this one. Cannot be affording misses from either side, really.
And again, I restated this before. If Philippines does win this, they would have to go with Edison. I don't think there's any other way.
Oh my god, that is gonna be so ridiculously tight if it gets to that. Edison as the decider, but they have to win this to even get an opportunity. And here it is, it's Boji coming in, of course, for the rice pick.
I'm just concerned on how this matchup is gonna be. The chokes have been unpredictable. It has been the case for this matchup. Okay, this is high stakes, and this is Brazil's Protect. So if Brazil does lose this, they don't have any more picks to make, and Philippines is gonna have to think twice or thrice, really.
Yeah, I mean, this, no matter what happens, this is Brazil's last pick. So this is their last pick. They're choosing to pick Break the Silence. This is their Protect. So you have to imagine they're fairly comfortable on it. But anything could really happen on a map like this, right? It's so hard to imagine a team being comfortable with getting 3-way FCs every time. Surely there's going to be a break, right?
I just don't wish for any breaks in this, but still, you don't want to get heart attacks. Alright, we're starting off with the client error, but hopefully should be okay. Doesn't seem like 7can is on the client.
7can, oh, here we go.
Okay, seems
just gonna
we're
have
gonna...
to wait for it to sync up. Demi-Fiend, no, okay, Demi-Fiend, actually with lower accuracy, that is real, I think, 99.4.
I'm so confused.
Hang on, what's going on now? How is Brazil in the lead? It looks like Philippines have the higher accuracy overall, 7can matching Demi-Fiend. Volpsy outperforming Marcinho, and Boji outperforming Silly Fangirl, so it looks like Philippines should have the lead, I think. I'm not sure what's going on with the client. Oh, there's a miss! Oh my god, what am I doing?
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, 7can miss early on, but I don't know because the accuracies are level for Brazil. Oh, there's a 200 no 3 no jack.
Yeah, it actually looks like the accuracies are very close between the two teams, but the miss from 7can, I missed that completely just because of the client messing up before, but yeah, it is Brazil in the very small lead, but that said, accuracy in favor of Philippines means that any mistake, any miss from Brazil means that this lead goes straight back to the Philippines.
Tough situation to be in with a 3,000 point lead this far in, even though with how, I don't know, backloaded this chart is? Because that's how the material in this chart goes.
Yeah, I mean, now looking at it, it looks like Demi-Fiend also had an early miss, but in the first like 10 notes, 10-15 notes of the map. So it doesn't matter quite as much as 7ken's miss was, which was, you know, closer to that 400 combo mark.
Miss has to come out now from Brazil for Philippines to have a chance now.
Yeah, Philippines getting the accuracy, still building up. No one is matching Boji's accuracy right now. Volpsy is beating out 2 of the players on Brazil, so the accuracy is looking very strong for the Philippines. But yeah, as you said, this lead is not shrinking whatsoever. It's going to need to be a miss.
Needs to be a total slip up from Brazil to take up the score difference right now.
I even think significant accuracy drop might be enough, but I mean, we haven't seen too many of those from Brazil the whole match. And we don't have much time left. There is a quarter of the map left. 4,000 points, not a big lead, but a definite lead for Brazil.
Dude, they're running out of time. There's still only the last quarter remaining.
And here we go, last part. Demi-Fiend's accuracy has shot up so quickly after that bad start, 99.8% now.
Yeah, they're completely running. Oh, damn, Boji with the miss, the second miss from the Philippines.
I think that does it. We're at the end of the map. Boji finding the miss means that this lead from Brazil, they can't lose it now. We're in the outro.
And that is going to be it. I don't think there's any other way for this coach to come back.
And it's going to be 2 FCs from Brazil to close out the match. 6-3. This is a little bit of a seeding upset happening in the winner's bracket. Silly Fangirl with the Scorby1 double S.
With the clutch view on SS coming out as the MVP for this entire pick. It's just really interesting to see how actually the misses really just demolish you.
Absolutely. And now this is going to be the matchup for next week. Brazil is going to continue on into the winners semi-finals. They go into verse South Korea in what is a rematch of last year.
An interesting amount of rematch, I would say.
Oh, definitely. That is going to be a very interesting match to watch out for, especially because of how strong Brazil are performing so far in this tournament. And unfortunately for the Philippines, they are knocked down to the losers bracket. There are so many strong teams down in the losers bracket, so it is going to be tough for them, but still having a chance to make it all the way if they manage to win there. And that, I believe, is going to finish off all of our matches.
Yeah, the entire quarterfinal matches are done and dusted. It's very close on some of the matchups, totally. I think in this particular matchup, it could have gone easily to tiebreaker, but it was not meant to be.
Yeah, we can see some of next week's matchups here. Canada versus Philippines, Thailand versus China, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Chile, Vietnam are in the losers. Those, all 8 of those teams are ridiculously strong. That is actually insane to see as a lower bracket semi-final. And only 2 of those teams are making it out. That is crazy.
Yeah, I'm just even more scared because these 8 teams are going to suffer a lot more on the semi-finals map pool, which to be happening in 15 minutes, but we get to see the winner's bracket is looking very stacked.
Oh my, I am actually very interested in South Korea versus Brazil now. I think if you look at the stats for this round, I don't think there's many teams in the whole tournament that can beat Brazil's scores that they just put up on so many of those maps. And USA versus Japan, another one that's going to be insanely interesting to keep. I'm lost for words right now. After casting those past 2 matches that we've just seen, my mouth is dying a little bit. But yeah, USA versus Japan, Korea versus Brazil, 4 ridiculously strong teams, and we've just got such a high level overall the tournament. But stay tuned, because we are not going to be too long, actually. We're going to have the map pool showcase for the semi-finals coming up in just a little bit once we're ready.
Yeah, I think in about 15 minutes. So it just comes down to whether the remaining 12 teams, I would say, 4 on the winners bracket, 8 on the losers bracket, are just gonna have a little fun on the semifinals map pool. It's gonna be relatively rough for on the lower seeded teams in particular.
Okay, so I'm going to be seeing that for the first time. I'm excited to see that. So we're going to have a little bit of a break, maybe about 15 minutes. We'll see while we just get things sorted out. In the meantime, thank you all for watching the matches, and we will see you in just a little bit.
Yeah. This has been Mipa and Potassium, and we're now signing off for the day.